Yeah, yeah. This at this standpoint, you are talking about these issues in past several weeks, and but actually, very similar opinion to Larry Summers. But majority economists and economic business people and the politicians, they feel it's very difficult to implement those issues, right?
But I think that's basically because of where they stood at that time. The situation was not as dramatic as it is today. This was pre-Brexit. This was pre-Trump and what comes out from him. This was pre the like other European countries that went through major crisis with other populist politicians coming to the surface. So I think that with all these things that are happening at the moment, that will feed a bigger sense of urgency. Okay, we need to do something. Basically, the response to the whole populist sentiment in England was, okay, well, if we can't beat them, join them. So the Conservative Party was basically hijacked by this problem of populism, and that is something that more and more people will take seriously. Where does this come from, and how what can we do about it? Because I think originally um, the, the Conservative Party in the UK would never be in the situation um, would never have thought that they would be in a situation where they would have a leader like Boris Johnson, and that they would be pursuing a policy, a majority of the people supporting a policy where they would be rushing out of the EU without a safety net, risk with a lot of risk and a lot of questions that have not been answered. I don't think that many people would have been forecasting this 3-4 years ago.
Oh, okay. Your opinion is already at that time, since that time, 2 years past. So while
Yeah,
the opinion is moving ahead, more for or closer to Larry's opinion instead of lie
I
and
think
instead of business
yeah,
people.
I think more and more people are now beginning to see that we are really in a situation where we need to start thinking and considering more drastic measures because the situation is getting more extreme.
Mm, I see. I see. But consider for like a Brexit and like a Johnson's approach for the how to exit EU is they are neglecting for the ordinary people's opinion. These sort of things, politicians is try to the tendency is they do not consider for much for the ordinary people. Like
Mm.
Trump's action, you just overview of the Trump's took action is very similar to Johnson. Not effective for poor people.
Yeah,
How do you think about that? I'm observed. He's a speaker for the how to save lost middle income people, but actually nothing happened. Right?
I'm not
He
sure to
just
be
tax reduction. He just concerned about how to recruit soldiers from the world, and his political tactics is fairly good, but I'm not so much ev- evaluate for his action for the poor people. That country is
but actually
an income structure. Nothing changed so far past 2 years.
uh, well actually because he's tackling the wrong issues. The real issue I think is not so much about outsourcing. I mean, basically to some extent, but actually the bigger issue is what will happen once these technological developments start to become mainstream. Um, Once we have AI become mainstream, the IoT, um, uh, these technological developments will hurt the middle class most, and he's not even
Mm,
talking about
mm,
that.
mm. Also, he just started the trade war against China based upon the income inequality, how to try take back their job to the states. but it's
Right.
completely wrong direction, right?
Right, but that's just as like he also loves this American wrestling. It's the show. People love the show.
Yeah, exactly. That and additionally, just you said the IT revolution, but IT revolution is no way to avoid from the world, economy and politics. We need to
Right,
accept to take action for those issues.
right. We cannot reverse that. We cannot stop that. So we need to think about how we're going to adjust to make sure that middle class people, do not fall victim to these kind of developments. And
Mm.
this is the time to think about it. But we're not doing anything about it. We're not even talking about it. So in 3-4 years time, when the AI is ready to overtake human labor, then
Yeah, yeah.
it will be very, very late, and a lot of people will lose their jobs. And given that they have not been able to save for the past decades, they will immediately fall into a poverty trap.
Mm. So this sort of things will going to be happen next 2 to 3 years, but he does not consider for the action how to save those people.
No,
So
no,
what?
he's doing the highly visible things. He's taking on China. He's taking on anyone he sees, and he's challenging them. Um, he's really fighting, and I think that's what a lot of people find attractive. That's what they have been missing with Obama, who always chose a balanced approach, who didn't really address the issues that people were feeling in their daily life. But Trump is talking about them. The way that he's trying to solve them will probably not make a lot of impact for them, but at least uh, he's doing something. I think that's the sentiment that a lot of Americans have. They don't care whether he's right or wrong, but at least he's fighting.
But this is, I think, especially for IT area, he tried to make some uh, conflict against China, especially for the 2025 manufacturing sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think this is wrong decision. America need to coordinate with China and share their pros and cons and which good point in the states or which bad weak point in the states need to consider for the try to pick up best solution to develop their economy. And also if he want to save poor people, he need to consider for another policy should be taken, not the kind of war, right?
Right. Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't really know how unequal and unfair these Chinese trade policies are. Do you have any idea why this is
Yeah,
such a
this
big
is
problem?
China is also they have 1.3 billion population. I think
Mm.
10 times bigger than Japan. Also, China, America 4 times bigger than America, and they have 4 times good, clever people living there. So why not use them? Utilize them, those people, and also they are China and the country wide. They decided to implement AI industry next 20, 30 years. So we need to cooperate with those people. Japan is the same. Otherwise, we are missing opportunity like a 5G. Okay, against it. You can say it, but why not try to accept the technology, bring into the States, bring into Japan instead of against them,
Mm.
right? What's losing? We don't lose nothing. We can get benefit. And China still
Exactly.
is cheap, and the wages is 1/3 or something like that. So we can use them and moving an R&D center in the state in China instead of America. They can hire more cheaper people. But the American government concerned about intellectual property, they're stealing technology. No, no, no. You need to consider for the cost and the benefit.
Well, you only need to worry about stealing technology if you're ahead.
Oh yeah, yeah. But actually, Americans strongly believe that they are the number one in the world. Japanese are very similar. They are thinking, how come we need to study from Chinese? No, you don't thinking about like that. And some areas already Chinese ahead. Not 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 everything Japanese is to go ahead against Chinese people. And even Japanese people thinking like that. America is the same.